You might have been here on my video because of the narcissist videos, right? We're all kind of interested in them. Maybe. They're actually very boring, very, very boring people. Okay? Now, what I mean by boring is that, well, if you're a highly creative person and you have that a libido that works on being creative, really it's necessary for you to interact and do something with your hands, or even have a good conversation with somebody. See, narcissists don't have a very good conversation. Kind of flaring up nowadays. See, the reason why is that you and everybody in humanity who really has done the work, the inner work, it's time to receive our blessings. Hate to say, and it's really hard because there's people around you that might want to try to get in the way. And see, here's the thing though, they might be sidetracked, heavily sidetracked, and then also because of, the timing, which I come up with, how we do have the matrix, right? And some people are graduating into becoming like way showers, or even just way sayers of how it could might be, why we need to get away from all the programming in the system, right? The system's programming is what we're talking about. It's important to bring that word up. See, now, because your narcissist doesn't really engage with you on a real-time scale. I mean, just to say it plainly, they never did. See, if they had you in your life, they did nothing but, I would like to say use, but that's not the word. Abuse is the word. It just means that maybe God sent you together for some profound reason. This kind of thing that I'm doing, all my material, really, it's because the language is a cure. First of all, their battleground is battleground, right? And so it's kind of a very long, long video that we would have to make to begin to present what is the cure to that plague, which is narcissism. Like, right? I mean, it's like it's a freaking black cult out there. What I mean, it's a norm, right, for the entire society. You're not a successful person unless you became one of these kinds of processors. It's really hard to expose what I'm trying to expose. See, now, my contemplation today is that it's not for everybody, especially the way I'm doing it. I'm not really hitting the artistic way to do it to where inside of the viewer or the audience, they start to click in like crazy. Okay, so what there's part of this now I don't really want to expose because I don't want it to be stolen. But this is the thing, is we have to release away from thinking that anything of the truth can be owned by any one individual, and it can't be stolen. It's really just, what are these people trying to do but be well, they're exposed to the monetary system, which is mainly a central bank owned by the enemy. But really it's ran by the enemy. It's not owned by the enemy. The whole idea of money and why we need it and stuff like this, that whole, if you can call it association, more like company, or what do you want to call it, institution, whatever, whoever owns that, see, it's an institution. Like somebody here on here was letting me know how that, well, it's a belief. It's just a belief system. Otherwise, we wouldn't have money. We'll just have creative people contributing. They just live a completely different way because there's just a way to be, right? And so things like confluence happens, and reasoning and stuff. That's just, we're talking about eliminating disease, knowing to not fear death because we've mastered that process. This spectrum creating mode of writing, which I call, what would we call it? It's 3 spectrum reveal. It's revelations to me. See, religion tries to tell us about these things. Now, do you see this here? REA, read. I'm telling you, if you can get this through your mind, we're talking about God here. Whenever we see REA, all right? Adam, really it's just slur and Eve. But really it's atom and I. Why do you say that, Shauna? How do you think that's possible? Well, we're not perfect here, and when we play telephone or even writing down with ink, yeah, a little bit of an erase, and just let's just turn that into that, and make it a dam. And it's not right. See, no, I keep telling you that no personal name, say, not even Jesus, babes, is really passing as the truth unless you start using the hidden symbols in there mainly. Okay, so that's where I'm saying that in my last video, Jesus, babes, I was trying to tell you how what is necessary is that you keep your vowels up, all right, and you look for birds in the words, all right, abbreviations. Really want to stay having fun, because this name really does reveal something. Say E, U, okay, but us is there. That's a bird in the word, right? The EU, you've seen that put together, and if you can just imagine that symbol, the U right there, no joke, because it carries and draws an energy as a cup. It's really supposed to be using your imagination. Like, this is a capacity to hold energy. That's what you are. It doesn't have to be a literal physical cup, although it is very much like a vortex. See, there's a reason why the V right there kind of looks like a U, because they're doing the kind of the same thing. See, holding energy, really, because that's what we're dealing with when we're talking about the upper spectrum revelations. Okay, reveal. See, here's REA, there's REA. Wow, we're comforted to see God there. And so revelation, I like the word revelation. See, because then REA now is at. We love the word shun because it has this darn I on in it, but there's always the on. Or at ion, why not? You see, ion, I was trying to explain to you, is the plasmatic field. And now you just keep your letters low and start writing this out and getting back to the general thing that's happening, because it doesn't make sense to have everything capitalized. Like the way that they write the alphabet, they sing it, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but see, the way you would really write it is that it's A and then lowercase b, C, D, and then you'll have to capitalize the E. Now, but no, we have capital consonants, and they do represent something in the upper spectrum also. So that's why you have them side by side on your darned lessonary at school. They have them capital A and then small a, capital C and then small c. But there's a way to emphasize that the vowels should be in capital, mandatory, because those symbols are pointing at, in the basic construction of the English language, they are pointing at the very way that all of creation within outer space and without outer space, what I mean is using the human aperture, the way that creation is being rendered up. God, it's hard to say this. See, E can very well be I or energy. Yes, because in the word energy, babes, it's hidden in there. And if you knew what I was doing, this is called deciphering. See, we would look at this and see the word I in there. Well, it's really pointing at what's happening here. It really is. Okay, and see, Jesus, even though that's a very powerful being and will not escape history, I'm pretty sure, because we can all relate with what's in there, is the E is us. E, us. Really, energy, us. I, really, I, us. How about that? It's like it's I. It's like iPhone, but it's I us kind of thing. A smart puppy. There. Well, Venus has the same. I just, I've talked about this before, and it's kind of probably like, oh God, Sean, you're going crazy. No, I'm trying to make you see. Well, there is this correlation also, yes. No coincidence that those two very basic configurations that points at energy or I, and then you or us, which is you and me, really is we, okay? Now you can always get into this more about that. See, the EWE is not just we, but it's you. And we're reducing it right down to, if you want to talk about revelation, but what is the truth within the plasma, within the field, the space, outer space, is these occurrences, okay, of things happening. And see, no name is not even, is going to be the truth. It's the equations found within it. And okay, so you don't want to get too lost in the details, of course. There's a certain time to start letting the scripture reveal the true prophecy, and it gets hilarious. Now, if we were to talk about how to see it and how to view it, how to see, what we're asking is, well, when I say we, what we're trying now. Let me get to what the intention is. That I'm kind of jumping ahead, but if you're still listening to this and you are just surrendered to the truth, and you say, well, yeah, I see that there is the word she and he right in the word sheep. Okay, now this is a metaphor. You need to understand you're looking at a metaphor. You don't have to own being cattle that in fact is being eaten by human beings. No, we're talking about that there's biological intelligence here, and this is your language. Okay, now this has been turned against you. You don't like the lowercase sheep. That's all I can say. The lowercase sheep does not see. All right, it doesn't see. It doesn't even she, and it doesn't even he, babes. Okay, screw your lower cases. Screw them all. You have to become more creative than sheep like that, flatline, and start playing the game. See, now I'm kind of skipping ahead and looking at this. Okay, you have a typewriter. See, there's a reason why they call it a typewriter and even a keyboard. Okay, so now let me get back to your organization that you form. Your social media, unfortunately, it's a battleground, and it's most likely going to attract you enemies rather that won't support you, especially if they feel that you don't deserve support or something. Like when you're doing something like what I'm trying to do here, that threatens the exposure of it. Maybe they are disconnected with reality. Maybe they're not that creative. Maybe they are wasting our fucking time, let alone our energy. See, I don't know about you, but in the last 5 years, I've noticed it. It's like people did not band together. They blew apart. And what happened is they got like succumbed or taken to the enemy, whether it was just their own mind or it was a so-called friend. And it's like, babes, we have yet to regroup, man. We have yet to find our real friends. And I was saying, babes, do you notice social media, which tries to get you to do friends on Facebook, right? But really, we should be talking about, well, what do you mean, friends? See, and that's what now you want to talk about. What's Aquarius ruled is friends. It makes or breaks your whole life, right? The right people around you. If you can groove with them, then that means your projects are harmonizing with what they are doing. It's just, see, that's something that it could be a natural knack that humanity has, that they find each other. But we are experiencing something where I've heard so many people get broken apart, whether maybe just somebody died or something and then something ends or something. But see, it's just it's a natural cause for death to happen. But now the real live splitting apart of people who have been in battle, say, all of their life, it seems like, with not only just like, it's not just one person, like, say, in their family, or maybe they had a terrible marriage, or something. It's like, yeah, we have to straighten out our relationship with reality, bottom line. And see, this right here does that for us. See, even though I'm doing this thing where I'm not really, see, the thing is I'm not spelling it wrong. If a narcissist ever wants to take apart, and they don't, but see, it's something that will it's getting kind of complicated now, and we need this over the platform of social media, because AI wants to know where's the human being. And this, now, how does it happen, Shauna? What do you mean? Well, thumb through my darned playlist here, and because I was talking about the organ. Now you have, and darn it, it's not the sexual organs, but we could say that, well, if it wasn't for those, we wouldn't have any other construction of any other organs, says a woman. Excuse me. Okay, organ. Now, what we're really talking about is a piano. I'm just kidding. No, babes, what we're really talking about is, okay, the heart. Remember that? See, here's a revelation. Organ. Ism, babes, it's just, we talked about the suffix ism. It means to, like, what do you think? Let's think about it. To me, it sounds like an engine. It's kind of driving. It's kind of saying, I am it, or is this, or see, the M points at matter. Matter, yes, yeah, and or you can say mental, but no, yeah, mental, mind, but there's two minds here, so you don't want to get too confused. Men, but anyway, matter is it, really matters it. Okay, that's what men represent. Is this squiggle right here is men, and then you'll have another squiggle that goes up. That's Aquarius right there. Okay. Two of them, I say, says that it's because there are two. There's men, right? And then there's women here. So, the organ, your heart, must be open. See, that's the funner thing. That's the one that's capable of all feeling. That's the true intelligence, right? Feelings. Yeah, well, yeah, and very complex. We're going to have a battle with the mind, really. And it doesn't have to be a battle, really, that the mind can surrender. So it's really hard to talk to a narcissist because they have no surrender. They're there with a double agenda. Their conversation, if you really see it, it's like you're automatically going to have to get on their side because, well, what's going on there? It's always a mind game or a trip or a power play. You can figure that really is happening by the way you feel later, right? You feel kind of, this wasn't really anything that, see, not only wasn't for me, it's more like it's trying to drain me of me and my potential. Like, what if you need to change? What if you're doing transformation? What if you're the one capable of healing? What if you did heal and now you're ready to reach out, and then that's the first thing that's there, and it's like, whoa, right? So that's kind of what's happening now with us. We have Mars opposing Pluto. It happens exact on the 1st of January, but we're moving very slow, going backwards, and it's going back into this pressure cooker sensation. See, but now we're out away from Capricorn, and it's the first real life Aquarius opposition with Mars, and it's just a pressure cooker. It's opening up again. It's another tester. Okay, we can tell you when it last opposed Pluto was earlier this month of December, but now it's going forward, hitting again exact opposite on the very day. And a lot of people are going to have this like weird hangover that's going to be like really like trying not to get too much vengeance on whoever and whatever you people egos are doing. You don't know that you're supposed to be quiet, and your circle is supposed to tighten up. And you do. You check on people, right? Do you have a tight circle too? Oh, if you don't have a tight circle, come over here and come to our circle, right? You don't want to leave people out in the cold, because it's really a time to kind of be really grateful. It's a very spiritually uplifting, really it can be, it has to be, because you are in a very dark, see, there's more dark than there is light. It's cold, it's moving into winter, it's a time when we're going into even more introspection, of course, around the turn where they have us celebrating New Year, which isn't really the New Year. The New Year is when the sun goes into Aries, which March means arc, R or A. It means one. April means two, and May means three. That's more the truth. June means four. July means five. See, if you look it up, this is a fact. And so there's something off with that. They have us celebrating, and screaming in the middle of a time when it's not New Year's yet. No, this is a time when we have to be really quiet. Really, it's what are they doing on Christmas? It's more like, yeah, we do that, but in a very sacred manner. Is it real? Or is it just like blow it apart and God, was that hardly a good bonus? Because really, I had to pay for the fucking Christmas present that I had to go back to the damn office party for, and these people aren't even in my life anyway. Fuck this scene, right? The money scene and how you work. Thanks for listening to this. Is it resonating with you guys? See, resonation doesn't happen unless you are, okay, real live resonation that heals you, real live resonation, babes, that like when with the 528 hertz that makes a design geometrically, it is healing. What we have is almost a dominating thing, a dominating theme. 80% of the Earth's population out there are disconnects. They're completely disconnected. It's said that it's actually 92% are narcissists. Okay, these are people that just aren't awakened yet to the heart, the organ that's here, let alone the organ, I. That's cool that the word I is right in there. I call it a word, but it's a symbol. Ization. Now, this is a trip, I'm telling you. The aton comes a lot. Because zation can be right there, or nation. Zation, okay, now, babes, does the Z to you look like an N? Now, if it doesn't, you're not safe for kids, and I don't want to know you at any time. If you cannot just bend your mind up, it's peculiar why the Z is found at the end of the alphabet. It's a divine reason. I'll explain that in one of my videos later on. One of these days I'll probably get a 9-hour seminar up and say, finally I got like a train. And so, but anyway, come Mars Neptune conjunct. Mars conjunct Neptune. Neptune looks like a fork. Okay, so aton, babes, aton. We always have this ion. But you can say aton. Just means that we are, it's almost like atom, but it's aton. Because what it says is when you have it's through the atoms that you are on. Yeah, atom has, is a plasmatic field, by the way, I erased that, but atom has the O right in the middle for a reason, and the M is matter. It's important to remember that. It has to do with matter there. But the M is you have to keep reminding people this is what you're looking at, is actually the W upside down. Or right side up. It's hard to tell, but I say that it's both, because they are just a squiggle. It's a symbol. People like this, that's Aquarius. All right. That man and woman. Okay, so if you don't think that the M looks like a W upside down, kids don't like you. I bet naturally. What I'm saying is your imagination is shot and you're no fun. Period. We as human beings, what resonation happens only through play. Now, okay, what resonation really is, not only, baby, it's the playing of a string that happens that when you don't even have to touch it, but from across the room, when you resonate a truth, when you resonate with a certain tone. Now, in the word tone, we have the word one. This is really important. I'm beginning to realize it is so important because what's happening right now in the air, if you haven't noticed, you're being infiltrated by around you. You're having to armor up in an energetic mode, very vital right now, because you're going to access your blessings. You have a right and you deserve to get what the universe has in store for you, way beyond the system, because you have done the right work. And what I mean is that, well, it's very tedious here. We don't know what is working and what is not. What I mean is, do you even know what the word work means? Getting back to your organization, right? Resonation, um, the play. I'm just playing here. And if you're a heart, you're able to play with it. You're able to play with it. Otherwise, did you notice that your narcissist can hardly have a goddamn thorough conversation? They can't follow you. You have to follow them. And you're doing a march with Adolf fucking Hitler over there. Hi, how are you? Like and subscribe if you think this is amazing, the way I kind of am figuring this out. Okay, resonation. We're talking about resonation. Did that resonate with you guys? See, I came up with the word, and that's not a word, babe, but look at this. Calm. You know what the word calm means, right? It means communications. Now, who is the better media? Do you think it's comedian? But no, there's the word media. That's what I'm going for. Media. But it does mean media. It means to broadcast or talk. But see, the comedians, babes, are playing. They're the ones who have informed and made people laugh. See, they hit the funny bone, and it's called resonation. Sorry, I'm jumping all around here. It's because there's this energy in the air that I wanted to really warn you guys to say, look, it's happening. You are in a soup, probably a pit of snakes, and you just forgot. And you need to hold ground in your prayer center, really your own ability to stay centered. See, there's a part of the organism that is absolutely exhausted, and that is the Aries part of the organism, and that's me. Well, 6 degrees Aries rising. If you have a sun in Aries or a moon in Aries, I would say that the Jupiter in Aries has been going through hell, and so has the Venus in Aries. Mercury in Aries, I can't imagine. There, and that part of the organism is the organism that responds, like down to the nervous system, that just like is the little baby that just says, that knows how to just be emotional. It doesn't hold back. See, this is the thing, is when and how that Mars is going backwards. When it goes back into Cancer, won't be as bad for us Martian people who do express ourselves without letting any air or wind just boom respond. You don't live life hesitating through life. That's not really alive. See, so we're going to have to be taking a break now, and we kind of are. Even though I'm making this, I'm very exhausted. I am making sure I'm getting into this pattern of like, you know what, you really need to not only get that plenty of rest, eat the food, right? I'm doing it alone here. Nobody is really helping you. So you'll probably realize that nobody is really helping you right now. It's because we're going through a darn shoot, and you cannot have these entities glomming onto you. No, no, no. I dare say, especially during this time of the winter solstice, watch out who you're going to parties with. Don't just go because you're lonely or something, because those people, they understand something probably more than you do, that you have accumulated a lot of energy being isolated, and you're actually ready to shine and give to people something that, if you're not careful, see, you should have something that you know that you're offering, which is your brilliance, your being itself. And now, a lot of people, I was trying to give you a percentage, and it's actually 92% of people. And I hate to sound like this, Steve, because this opens me up for a lot of dislikes, because there's a lot of people that are just prejudiced against people who say, no, there's sick people here. That's all I'm trying to say, is there are sick people here. There's fake healers that try to tell you that, no, you can be healed and there's nothing wrong with me. Oh, there's something wrong with you, though. And it's like, nope. See, A healed person is going to say, man, I got this far and this is what I did. And they can heal people to that capacity only. And then, and we all have something to share. That's what we're saying as far as, man, if you're talking about a corporation and industry, we have a deeper, profound responsibility to share ourselves as a revelation from your heart chakra, okay? Your heart has the word ear in it for a reason, and the beautiful T, and everybody knows. See, I tripped out on the word breath. Now you don't want the capital B, because we like looking at boobs and butts, but we're going to keep it down and expose God, REA. See, there's God, the infinite possibility with the R there and everything. I guess you could say that for sure, right? Yes. And then check out how the TH is there, and right here, babes, right, is earth. Everybody knows this, see, right? Or heart. Why can you do that, Shauna? Well, it's because the R says reverse. How do you know that? I was downloaded by Space Beings that says, please use these rules. And I think I learned, maybe enough to where it keeps downloading more. It keeps going. But that's one of the main things that you need to know, is that R rule, and it even says right there in your language, babes, reverse R, re, means do again, right? Yes, and see the E is there because it's energy. It's energy. That's all what we're working with here. 3-prong plug, see what goes on. See, when you do reverse, you do get Eve in there, but we're going to look for the bird in the word. It's a trip. See, the word verse is there. You guys, I'm here to tell you that there is nothing going backwards. Not really. What we mean is that it was re-said. It was re-seen. Reverse. Okay. Reverse. The word see is there. If you use the reverse rule and start jiggering it about, playing around, and also seer. See, it's the same thing kind of like with respect. See, respect means to re-see, because spec means see. But with the R reverse rule, and you use the capital S, and you start pointing out that if you start saying, look, I see something in here that just is obvious. The seer is there again. See. And see, your narcissist won't be able to go very far with this on their own. They can't really pick out anything, Let's get back to revelation. It's what's revealed in quiet time, just simply observing. You observe, you have an eye to do that. See how that revelation almost has an I, the word I in there, but they turn it into rev. See, it's kind of strange, but that's fine. You want to figure that maybe somebody got something wrong with the writing, because we're talking about seeing here. God is there at on. There's an I on. So this organization I'm talking about that happens naturally, in the future, we have to use technology to let all the world know, and especially your governors. What I mean is the people that are sitting back and they don't think you'll ever get it. But if you start using your typewriter correctly, which is it's a keyboard, by the way, it's a keyboard. It's interesting because that word board, B-O-A-R-D. So you have a typewriter or a keyboard. What we mean by keys is very much this. Can you see something? Here, who would have known? See, I was given a download especially about the abbreviations too, and even the word abbreviation. I'm compelled to write it out. I'm being tested by people all around me that, of course, you would be, when they just don't know. But see, if they see, but why are they in your life then? If they're not supporting you, I'm not saying that, oh, you know, you got to be able to go crazy like me and just drop all your friends or tell them that they must get along with you. So you have to watch out. Are they really supporting who you are, who we are? See, what's happening now is a complete overhaul. Nothing is going to be the same after like next year. We're just going to keep, what I mean is the turn of the year after Mars finally gets past Pluto, does this opposition. Now really after, okay, slow but sure, babes, you are going through a fucking massive transformation. And my generation, you need to step up. You need to start sharing. You need to start looking at this. Okay, so what I found, babes, is your organization, your organ at on is resonating through revelation. Here we go. The real revelation is found in your scripture, and it's kind of funny. The world has gotten so sick because, okay, you know about Babylon, right? That this kind of thing is needed. This kind of thing was not here for no reason. It's here for a profound reason. Something has gone on to where, okay, so something has found this decoding system and showed it to me. It's not everybody's cup of tea because they're not going to be able to find abbreviations. They don't know their language, and that's okay. There's where we are separating shepherds from the sheep, and the shepherds are here to recruit you. We're going to say, we can't do it without you. We don't have any thing to work with here. See, we have an organization that we're looking at. Now, it's up to resonation. Like, what makes you feel good? The sheep are pretty good at that, but they've been misled into fear that creates their bodies into a trap. Because they don't know how to farm their food, right? And whatever food is being farmed is keeping them at a low. And see, I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself. I need to just calm down and see what I'm talking about. When you have with this social media, if you really want to be heard, you have to take your freedom to capitalize whenever you want. Now, I'm going to make another video that starts to reveal, like, whenever you start talking about it. I almost started doing it when I said, well, you notice that he is in hell. Babes, I hate to start pointing at just biological intelligence and what's happening here. See, he is in head. Same thing. If you're just a head here and you haven't graduated into your body, which is the wAY, you see the wAY is in the word body. I like to point out the word boy is there because why? Well, that's where you want the boy. You want the boy in their body. You don't want them in their head. And the narcissism is that they never get into their bodies. They're stuck in their heads. They're being told that they are a name other than an energetic vibration. And they get very confused. So, sorry to pick on men. Here it is. What minute? Oh, God, 51. Because I am not picking on them. I will say I love them and I love women. I love all of them. I think they have the potential of becoming human beings. I mean, really, when they do become human beings, then they'll qualify to be called actual men and women. Otherwise, we have the strangest overlay. I'll talk about the overlay. Yeah, well, too much, right? See, I just think that see, we see that there's a dominating thing because the man can easily physically dominate, and they're being programmed to do the worst of their capacity, which is to have no leader and follow a fake leader and run to that fear, which their fear-orientated mind says that we can just strong everything into place, strong arm everything into place, right? And when that fear hits the alive woman, what happens to her? Well, all kinds of energetic shit. It's the big thing out there, like The righteous man is going to paint their one nail because they have given up a little bit, supposedly, like they're surrendered, that they know about the violence against women. And I just say, no, stop highlighting that, because it's really just violence against reality, right? We all know that they just use it bad. Here we are, and they become a massive problem because of their energetic need, their core deficit of needing energy. Now, so why? How do you get energy, Shauna? Well, you see, the heart is the main one that will give you energy when you hit the truth. When you're in a place where you're supposed to be, you are just buoyant. You feel joy. When you feel good about a piece of work that you did and you hit the truth, it's nobody's business but that heart. And you know, other people, when they make it their business, all they want to know is like, how do I get to feel as good as you? And there is where you are now a teacher kind of thing, right? You're somebody who holds this energy, and you can't have a vampire there posing as somebody who's interested in you. And that's a common thing with narcissists. You can see that they kind of mimic you and they project on you like this imagined part, and they want you there with that. It's terrible. They're stuck in memory that could be old junk, really. It's bad because, well, if you want to like improve your relationship, um, with anything, you go through a process of like rounding and rounding and rounding, and those are your ups and downs, and they don't do the downs very well because, well, they just feel like, oh, back to my normal, and it's like, no, see, their normal is just down, not knowing, because I just don't know, and I'm not going to get it, and I can't, and we're not picking on you, kids, but when you become into your 40s, 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you're hiding behind subject matter. You're fucking with it, first of all, particularly people, because they might have a potential better than you. And see, now, I'm saying now, if you can learn to work with people, you can get up to their level. See, the thing is they just think they're always right? They think that they're perfect and that they are the teacher and the leader, and it's hard to tell who is who after a while. This is where I say I'm a leader, but I know the leader is only good when nobody even sees the leader. It's just they're all being influenced and they all get the idea on their own. Because it's like if they do see the leader, well, Jesus, was that you over there? It sure was. And do you like the welcome party that they gave me? Well, what welcome party was that? Well, come here and I'll show you. Yeah. Wheat. Yeah, there you go. Well, at least, see, no, really, a real live leader is going to sacrifice, is going to just do it. Really, I mean, if you see somebody in politics, it's somebody who's just going to give it all away and say, man, I tried. But why don't you guys learn how to give it all away? I've tried to make, these videos are turning out pretty long. It's because they're supposed to open up like 9 hours of a kabloop to blop evolution of it all. And in the middle of it, we're doing Babylon. And the beginning, we're talking about how do we get to the heart, past the brain here, past the mind, past the narcissist. See, our organization is just of the heart. It's already hooked in. See, people are worried about, well, how do we learn anything? You just remember, that's all. That is a fact. It's an organization of remembering. And that's the shame that happens here, is that people come here, bad enough that they were bopped over the head with a vagina, I guess. But then people around them think that they need to drill them in with some programming. And it's like, man, can we find out where we really are in the evolution of human consciousness and awareness? Because there's something called meditation that your education system does not talk about now organization, meditation, and how that you need to get good exercise and eat the better food and watch out, because yeah, it's your body, it's your temple, that you're going to be in for the rest of your life. Nobody else is going to do that for you out there. See, that's an eventual. So meditation is better than anything. You don't need anything more or less than meditation. Now, what is it? Well, look, me. See, there's an I right there. I'm pretty sure. I, lowercase, is divine. Me, I, medit. There's that at on again, or at ion. It's interesting how there's two T's there with the A. But we will put the A up because we're looking at the at, or just where we are. It's how we got it all. It's this plasmatic field has the word attic in it because it's atom. Atomic has the word attic in it. Okay. Thanks for listening, folks. I hope you had plenty of booze. Just kidding. But your children ended up watching. Set them fuckers free. All right. So me, I, at on. Me, I, at on. Babes, you have to realize to start talking like a foreigner and jumble it up. And see, only a human being could use their imagination to say, no, I hear you saying your eye is on. It's at the on type. Me, I, at on. That's why you want to meditate. You know about the ion, babes. I was trying to, but that's always there. That's what we're dealing with in the air. Atmosphere, the atomic plasmatic field. Thanks for listening to this minute, just an hour one, and it's a vital time right now. You don't go backwards. You don't just fall into the pit of, oh, okay, I'll go because I'm lonely, or that they have anything for you. See, the narcissist doesn't really have anything for you. They have an agenda to put you in a certain place, like whether you're a flea. See, they have a agenda, right? It's to use you. Really, it's abuse you, because why? What do you mean? It's just it's abuse, Shauna, because there's a higher purpose for you and your union and your meeting. And if you notice, they never get it. They never have an accurate conversation with you. You're having to just like be with their mentality, and they can't follow you or even acknowledge that anything that you had brought was of any use to them. They abuse you, and they just want to deal, right? Especially if it's that you're trying to form a support system. Your whole consciousness has to change, and that's where I was talking to somebody today that I can just tell it's like, nope. See, 92% of you will not be able to fathom how that the universe works because of the way of power. The way of power. The way of power is that you're a creator. Creator. See, only a creator has power. Now, you've heard the term like how knowledge is power. It's kind of like what we're talking about, see, because, yes, if we spell the word know or knower, we've got the same thing happening there. We have the word ower. Now, this person has something, or else they can't put it out. See, they have taken in, and it's really, you have to, whatever gift you give, if it's a real life power, you've got to give it out. Otherwise, it'll implode you. You have to contribute here. You come here to do something very specific. If it's just to get on this internet thing and start posting things that you understand on your level. Like, I noticed the Virgos really come up with very intellectual stuff that has to do with our intellectual property, which is it could be anywhere from the medical industry trying to screw us up to what kind of foods should we really eat, and all the discoveries of military background. They are so detailed. You got to pay attention to the Virgos. Every once in a while, they are the healers here. And why do I mention those? Well, you know, we have them here. They're here. Well, they're going through a hard time with this Sun in Sagittarius is normal, but that Sun in Sagittarius starts to square Neptune, and that sets off the late degree Virgo, any of the mutable, Gemini, um, Pisces, and Sagittarius. Yeah, all four of those, they square. It's a stressful time. What Neptune has been doing and is going to do um, is very sneaky. That's the way Neptune is. And you want to stay alone enough to be able to hear God. That's all I can say. Because Neptune is trying to show us something about our reality, that if we don't make a breakthrough, the movie just gets worse and worse. I mean, as far as in the beginning, I was trying to tell you about the Matrix, and so thank you about this. If you got anything out of it, please hit like and subscribe, and it will encourage me to do a little bit more. But really, no, I don't wait for anybody's encouragement. Really, I've been downloaded a lot of this stuff, and see, there's a time when you're supposed to do this and a time that you shouldn't. I think I'm coming up to being worried about some things being stolen when I start to point at how to organize, which is through resonation. See, there's a way to completely stop your shit from being stolen. First of all, you don't own it. But see, um, now only high-minded people will be able to handle it. That's another thing. See, that's the thing about like with Tesla. It took so long for his stuff to finally make it out, and with full-on manipulation the way it is now. See, they just, there's something there that will have us do something wrong, and the narcissist will gladly do it. Why? Because money says because they say they'll get money for it. And what's that? Well, in the game, in this movie, it's what keeps you protected, right? And it's like, well, don't you think it's good for the narcissist? Good for you. But see, a lot of people don't want to be working for the enemy. They don't want to operate like slaves either, you know, or like getting less than what they feel that they value, or any of it. They don't want to be a fake person. We don't want to be fake. We don't want to go against our own morals. And Sam Backman talks about it, says that no, and so does that one chick, Ramana. They talk about narcissism and they say, no, this is the money making system over there. The narcissist is known to be best at it because they abandon their moral minds and they just do it. You know, gosh, in this darned. See, it's like, why didn't you take your clothes off already, Sean, and try and get some money to doing that? All right, yeah, baby. Oh, yay, ooh. And then see, the narcissist, they already took their clothes all the way off, and they did porn over there, $60,000, and that was a no-brainer for them. But where does that go, and where's their soul go, and where's everything go? I mean, really, at the very least, did you make a human type of pornography film? Which is perfect sex education, if it's anything. I mean, in case you wanted to have kids, be sure you have your organism down. What? I said organism. Come on, this is in case you wanted to. You wish. You see it? Oh, God. It looks very dim. I'm sorry about that. Hey, you know, at least I tried. I think I know enough. It's not that I tried. What I mean is that I stuck to it as long as I could. I feel a turning point coming. See, I'm getting nothing but money because they feel that I'm being abused by Satan in the background. It's like, yes, but we all are. Have you noticed? Oh, here's what I'm looking for. Oops. Organism. Let's just honor our organism and get it over with. And I didn't say that the instructions aren't packed in there, says God. Now, how do we have a great human experience? Oh, this darn ink pen went dead. Certainly not by having dead ink pens.